Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Radharani Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Kanda and from Texas. Hare Krishna, and very nice background and very beautiful saree, Mataji, as everybody said.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Vinita Mataji. Thank you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. And thank you so much for having your association, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Radhika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada Sadgurudev ki jai, Vrinda, Shishikar Nitai ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Vrinda Gopika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving the association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Radharani Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you. Hare Krishna. This is Padma from Arjuna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Padma Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your association. Hare Krishna. Are there any other devotees who would like to introduce themselves? Hare Krishna, I welcome once again each and everyone for the Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Kamal Lochan Prabhu to enlighten us on the topic Srimad Bhagavatam verse 5.11.13. Before handing the call to Prabhuji, I would like to hand over the call to Tiffany Mataji. Tiffany Mataji, you can please take over the call and give the introduction.
Mataji, today
Hare Krishna. Oh yeah, actually Raj Das Prabhuji is doing the introduction this morning.
Okay. I'm sorry. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I'm so sorry about that. You can please take over the call and give the introduction about Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, all the devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. His Grace Kamal Lochan Prabhuji was born in Mysore in the Madhva Brahmin family in 1973. Brought up in Andhra Pradesh in a very orthodox family where he developed a natural taste for inquiry into the mysteries of God creation. Passed out of Marine Engineering Research Institute, Calcutta in 1994. It is there in the college as a cadet he came in touch with the devotees of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. He found that all the unanswered questions were completely satisfied in the books of Srila Prabhupada. Still, as an engineering student, he studied Bhagavad Gita 5 times and mastered the Gaudiya Vaishnava Vedanta philosophy in a short period of 2 years and was initiated into Brahma Mother Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya by His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. He joined the Merchant Navy as an engineering officer and worked for 3 years. During this time, he felt the urge to teach the message of Gita to children and youth who are misguided by consumerism. So he gave up his lucrative job and joined ISKCON Mira Road, where he was promoted as the vice president of ISKCON Mira Road within a year and is currently the co-president of ISKCON Mira Road. He is also a visiting professor in MS University for Management and Social Work faculties and also conducts seminars on personality development topics in educational and corporate sectors. His only concern is that the children and youth should understand the moral and spiritual values as enunciated in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. His life is dedicated to teaching children and youth. Thank you. Mataji, over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving so brief introduction. Hare Krishna, Kamal Lochan Prabhuji. Are you in the call, Prabhuji?
Didn't join yet.
Okay. So I request devotees, if any other devotees would like to introduce themselves, you can please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Radharani Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulekha Karuna Devidasi from Lincoln.
Hare Krishna, Indulekha Karuna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining. Hare Krishna, Kaumadiki Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Radharani Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj and all the devotees. Thank you, Mataji. Jai, Tiger Sundar ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Kaumudiki Mataji, Dandavad Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you.
I request if any other devotees would like to go ahead, you can please go ahead. Or not, we can do our chanting.
Hare Krishna Radharani Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Geeta from Texas.
Hare Krishna, Geeta Mataji, Dandavad Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining. Hare Krishna. Okay, we'll do our chanting.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram
Hare
Ram.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavad Pranam, Prabhuji. All goes to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Please accept our humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving your very valuable time and association. I would like to hand over the call to you. Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishchiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 11, verse number 3. Na tasya tattva grahanaya sakshat variyasi api vachaha samasan swapne niryuktya grihamedi saukyam na yasya heya anumitam swayam syat natasya tattva grihanaya sakshat variyaserapi vachas samasam variyaserapi vachas samasan swapne niruktya grihamedi saukyam swapne niruktya grihamedi saukyam nayasya heyanu mitam syam syat nayasya heyanu mitam swayam syat natasya tattva grahanaya sakshat natasya tattva grahanaya sakshat variyaserapi vachas samasan variyaserapi vachas samasan swapne niryuktya गृहमेधि सौख्यम स्वप्ने निरुक्त्य गृहमेधि सौख्यम न यस्य हेयानुमितं स्वयं स्यात् न यस्य हेयानुमितं स्वयं स्यात्. Word to word meaning: na, not; tasya, of him, a student studying the Vedas; tattva grahanaya, for accepting the real purpose of Vedic knowledge; sakshat, directly; variyasi, very exalted; api, although; vachaha, words of Vedas; samasan, sufficiently became; swapne, in a dream; niruktya, by example; grihamedi saukhyam, happiness within the material world; na, not; yasya, of him, who; heya, heya anumitam, concluded to be inferior; swayam, automatically; syat, become. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. A dream becomes automatically known to a person as false and immaterial, and similarly, one eventually realizes that the material happiness in this life or next, on this planet or high planet, is insignificant. When one realizes this, the Vedas, although an excellent source, are insufficient to bring about direct knowledge of the truth. Purport. In the Bhagavad Gita 2.45, Krishna advised Arjuna to become transcendental to material activities, impelled by the three modes of material nature. Three material modes of nature: Traigunya Vishaya Veda, Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna. The purpose of Vedic study is to transcend the activity of the three modes of material nature. Of course, in the material world, the modes of goodness is accepted as the best. Mode of goodness is accepted as the best. And one can be promoted to higher planetary systems by being on the Sattva-guna platform. Moreover, that is not perfection. One must come to the conclusion that even the Sattva-guna platform is not so good, is also not good. One may dream that he has become a king with a good family, wife and children. But immediately at the end of the dream, he comes to the conclusion that it is false. Similarly, all kinds of material happiness are undesirable for a person who wants a spiritual salvation. If a person does not come to the conclusion that it has nothing to do with any kind of material happiness, he cannot come to the platform of understanding the absolute truth, or tattva jnana. Karmis, jnanis, and yogis are after some material elevation. The karmis work hard day and night for some bodily comfort, and the jnanis simply speculate about how to get out of the entanglement of karma and merge into Brahman effulgence. The yogis are very much addicted to acquisition of material perfection and magical powers. All of them are trying to be materially perfect, but a devotee very easily comes to the platform of nirguna in devotional service. And consequently, for the devotee, the result of karma, jnana, and yoga become very insignificant. Therefore, only the devotee is on the platform of tattva jnana, not the others. Of course, the jnani's position is better than that of the karmi, but that position is also insignificant. The Gyanis must actually become liberated, and after liberation, he may be situated in devotional service. Mad bhaktim labate para. Omagyanvirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya. Chakshurun militam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale. Swayam Rupat Kadamaiham Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uta Padakamalam. Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha. Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam. Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam. Shri Radha Krishna Padan Saganalita Shvishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate. Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari. Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriya. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha. Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So the storyline is like this. In the 10th chapter, Rahugana is completely amazed by hearing enigmatic words of Jada and immediately understood what he is speaking is not ordinary. He is speaking spiritual knowledge. Immediately he starts repenting for it. Then he pays obeisances. And then he glorifies the association of devotees and says, he asks further doubts. Because one point what Jada had, Raja Rahugana was told when Jada was not carrying a palanquin properly was, oh, you're tired? Sarcastically told, you're tired? It seems you are very tired. Then Jada told, where is the question of being tired? The fatigue of carrying the palanquin, it doesn't affect the soul because soul is aloof from the body. Then Rahugana, he says, how is it so? You are carrying the palanquin and the palanquin is in the body, and within the body there is a subtle body, and in the subtle body there is soul. So the fatigue, which the weight of the palanquin is being carried with the body, there is fatigue to the body. So if there is fatigue to the gross body, because the subtle body is in touch with the gross body, then the subtle body should also be fatigued. And the soul is in touch with the subtle body, so the soul should also be fatigued. So when somebody says, I am tired, I am fatigued, I am suffering, I am hungry, so the soul is also experiencing the miseries of hunger, thirst, fatigue, etc. And he gives an example. The example is that when fire is heating the vessel, and the vessel gets heated, the vessel's heat gets transformed to the milk, and the milk heat, the heated milk, it transforms the heat into the rice which has been put in the milk, so the kheer is made. So the rice is like the soul, the milk is like the subtle body, and the vessel is like the gross body, and the fire is like the miseries, the fatigue, the palanquin. So the palanquin is giving the fatigue, the fire is giving the heat, the vessel is hot, vessel heat is transferred to the milk becomes hot, and ultimately the rice gets boiled and it becomes soft because of the being touched with the milk. So then, when this example was given by, and this point was spoken by Raja Rahugana, immediately Brahmana, or means our Jada Bharata, in the 5th canto, 1st verse, the 11th chapter, he says, Ako vida vada vadan. Exactly what Krishna told to Arjuna in the 2nd chapter, 11th verse. Asochanan vasochastam pragyavadamscha bhashase gatasuna gatasumscha nanusochanti pandita. You are akovidaha. Akovidaha means what? You are not a learned person. So you are not a learned person, but you are speaking as if you are learned. Asochan anvasojastam pragyavadamscha bhashase. This is how Krishna diagnosed the disease of every conditioned soul. By first point, because when you go to a doctor, what is the first thing the doctor does to the patient? First, he diagnoses the disease. So Arjuna is representing all the conditioned soul. He is representing us there in front of Krishna. Krishna is a doctor. And Krishna saw Arjuna and said, Asochananva sojastam pragya vadamscha bhashase gata sumscha nanu shochanti pandita. Panditas don't think like this, means you're a fool. You're a pandita, akovita. Okay, being a pandita or a akovidaha or a fool, not learned, that is not a problem. But being a fool, you speak as if you are learned, that is the problem. Like Krishna says to Arjuna, Asochan, Annasojastam. You are thinking about those things which are not fit to be thought about. And then you are speaking as if you are learned. Pragyavadam shabhashase. Everybody wants to speak. And everybody's speech in this world is nothing but a description of their ignorance. Whatever news you see, whatever book you read, whatever magazine you read, it is nothing but their heralding their ignorance. Until unless one knows these three things, matter, spirit, and controller. The distinction among matter, spirit, and controller, the relationship between among matter, spirit, and controller, and what exactly these three are, matter, spirit, and controller, Chitta Chittishvara. There is no point of you calling somebody as knowledgeable. So all the professors, all the teachers in the universities, they are all akovida. He may be PhD, he may be MBA, he may be BCom, BTech, all nonsense. Because they don't know matter, spirit, and controller. And when they come to speak, they only speak ignorance. Dog barking and they speaking, there's no difference. Better dog is barking because you know it is a bark. But these people, out of ignorance, when they speak that as if they are learned, especially if you see the first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, and suppose somebody is given only the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, then people think that Bhagavad Gita was spoken by Arjuna. Because, oh, what knowledge he is speaking. Just imagine the kind of things what Arjuna spoke, you would be surprised, you would be shocked to know that he is such a high grade person. First point which Arjuna spoke, what was it? How can I kill my own relatives? Better for me to go and beg. Maikshamapi haloke, swajanam hi katamatva. Then second point he spoke. How can I enjoy? Even if I have to enjoy, then I have to have my relatives. How can I enjoy without my relatives? If I kill my relatives, then how can I enjoy? Because enjoyment is done among relatives, friends. For whose sake we are fighting, if I am killing them, what is the use of fighting? Second point Arjuna told. Just see, what Arjuna spoke is not ordinary. He is speaking very high grade philosophy, high grade dharma shastra. Now the third point which is spoken is third reason which Arjuna gives to not to fight, because he says, Apameva Shredasman Hatvaita Natatainaha. So if even though somebody may be sinful, but killing a sinful person is also sin. Now Arjuna argues to Krishna. He says, my dear Krishna, I know. According to the Arthashastras, according to the science of economics and politics and niti, to kill a sinful person is not sinful, but I am a dharmika, I am religious. Since I am religious, I want to follow the Dharma Shastras. According to the Dharma Shastras, according to the Dharma Shastras, you should know that to kill a sinful person is also sinful. So how can he kill a sinful person? Because I will be afflicted by sin. Just see how learned reasons he is giving. But still Krishna says you are a fool. Do you think what Arjuna spoke was foolish? No, it is actually very learned. As if he is speaking learned. But still he was speaking all these so-called wonderful things in the platform of ignorance. Until unless one understands the distinction between body, soul, and the living entity and the Supreme Lord, know the relationship between the soul, the material nature, and the Supreme Lord. Know what these three things are. One cannot be called as knowledgeable. As Krishna says in the 13th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, what is jnana? What is knowledge? Kshetra kshetrajnayor jnanam yatta jnanam matam mama. Knowledge means to know kshetra kshetrajnayor jnanam. To know what is kshetra and what is anukshetrajna and vibhukshetrajna. Chit, achit and Ishvara, matter, spirit and controller. This has to be known. So Arjuna gave the fourth reason. No, if there is a war, then there will be a lot of social consequences, like it's happening in Afghanistan. Arjuna described what's happening in Afghanistan. Then the woman will become corrupt, and all kinds of things he just went on and then said, Narake niyatam vaso. Such person who becomes the cause for the hellish condition. Who is the cause of hellish condition? Because of unwanted children. Why unwanted children are there? When the woman becomes corrupt, these unwanted children. Unwanted children become the cause of hellish condition in this world. And those who are the cause of the hellish condition, that means me, Arjuna, he says that I will be inflicted by sin. I will stay in hell forever. Fifth reason Arjuna gave, how can I kill my own grandfather, my own teacher? I am confused now. So just imagine such high-class reasons which Arjuna gave to not to fight, even those high-class reasons which Arjuna gave, the religious reasons, the moral reasons, the social reasons, the reasons based on compassion, all these reasons Krishna bundled up and told you are ignorant, you are a fool, because you are speaking all these things in the platform of ignorance. So if you see, Raja Rahugana also spoke something very knowledgeable, or seemingly knowledgeable thing, but they are not. And he's exposing here. Jadabharata is for Ako Vidaha, Ko Vidavadavadan. And you are speaking as if you are very learned. Ko Vidavadavadan. You are speaking as if you are learned. Because one who doesn't know this distinction between body and soul is actually ignorant. Like Krishna told Arjuna, Asochananno sochastam pragyavadam shabhashase. Gatasun, agatasun, gatasun. Gatasun means the thing from which the life has gone away. Life here has gone away, that is the grass body. Agatasun means the thing from which the life here has not gone away, that is the subtle body. So one who is hovering around and attached the grass body and the subtle body is actually ignorant. You're thinking about this grass body and the subtle body and forgot the eternal soul. What profit the man if he forgets the eternal soul? There's no question of any profit. It's not colorless. So he says, Vadasyato nati vidam varishtaha. You are not the best among learned. And a very, same thing. like Krishna told Arjuna that you are not a learned person. He told in a different way. Learned person don't think like this. That is why the same way it says, Vadasyato na dividam varishtaha na surayato surayohi vyavaharam enam. The wise people, they don't speak like this. Tattva tattva amarshena sahamananti amananti. The wise people, they don't speak of the material world by saying this material world experiences are truth. What experiences, what you have in this world, the wise people don't say this is truth. Like somebody says, I am suffering from hunger. They says, no, you are not suffering from hunger. They say, I'm hungry, I'm suffering from hunger. No, you are not suffering. Why? Because the soul is distinct from the body. In the example, what you give, what Rahugana gave is material. The soul is spiritual, but the rice is material, the milk is material, the container is material, the vessel is material, the fire is also material. But the fatigue is material, the grass body is material, the subtle body is material, but the soul is spiritual. So it is a wrong example. So many times people give examples, but they are all wrong examples. So there is a system in Nyaya, in Vedic system of philosophy called Nyaya, to find out how the examples are there in harmony with what they are speaking, or are they really proper. Like sometimes somebody says, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur is Srimad Guru, and one foolish person, he comes and then says, now I want to be like Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, Mahajanena Patasugantha. I'm going to grow a beard. And now I'm going to roar, because he's Simha Guru, I'll also roar. So just because Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur is being addressed as Simha Guru, you should understand the example properly. The example is like the lion roars. When Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur gives a class, what happens? It is like a low roar of a lion. The lion roars, all the jackals run away. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, when he gives a class, all the jackals, anarthas in the hearts of the disciples run away. So you should know how examples have to be used and how examples have to be given. Like the Sankets, they say, the blind man and the lame man. Wrong example, because they want to explain how matter and spirit come together by its own without requirement of God. Matter and spirit, spirit is spiritual, matter is material. But in their example is like blind man, the lame man, they coming together, both are conscious. Both are conscious. But in reality, matter is unconscious and spirit is unconscious. So you should give an example where one is conscious, other is unconscious. And they say another example, there is magnet and iron automatically come together. So you don't require God. In the same way, the living entity and material world comes together, and then this whole material world is there. You don't require God. But the magnet and iron both are unconscious. Whereas what you're trying to explain that how matter and comes together, spirit and comes together, same. Yeah. That example is not fitting to explain this, because matter is material and spirit is conscious. In the example of iron and magnet, both are matter, unconscious. So I'm just giving all these things to explain to you that how examples have to be proper. Sometimes people give some examples which may seemingly be proper, but it is not. The same thing here, Raja Rahugana gave a wrong example, because he compared soul to rice. Soul is spiritual, and rice is material, the milk is material, and the vessel is material, fire is material. Now, there is an argument here. No. The goal of life is to enjoy. That is what I've heard from a kind of philosophers called the Mimamsakas. Ultimately, the goal of life is to enjoy. Either in this world or in the next life, go to Swarga and enjoy. Because that is what the Mimamsakas are telling. Then what is the use of knowing that body and the soul are distinct, the soul is spiritual, this material world is useless, material world is false. The whole purpose of our life is just to anishta, nivritti, ishta, siddhi. Anishta means all the misery should go away, and ishta means all the happiness should come in our life. Sukha sampat egar ave dukumite tanaka yale age tera तेरा सब कुछ मुझे अर्पण करो जय जगदीश हरे. So this is what we are supposed to do. But in the next verse, second verse, Jadabharati says, Tateva Rajan Uru Ghar Hamedaha Pitatma Vidyoru Vijrumbuteshu Navedavadishu Hi Tattvadaha Na Vedavadishu Hi Tattvadaha. Now, you have heard this word Vedavadishu in Bhagavad Gita. Where did you hear? Second chapter. Where Krishna clearly says to Arjuna in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, while he is talking about the distinction between the Karma Yoga and Karma-kanda. Because he wants to explain what is Karma Yoga, but before that he says, my dear Arjuna, don't confuse between Karma Yoga and Karma-kanda. There's a lot of difference. Ya imam pushpitam vacham pravadantya avipaschitaha vedavadarata partha. Vedavadarata partha. Again, chapter 42nd verse. Those who want to know these words, beautiful words, which explains Karma-kanda in such a precise way. I have not found any most condensed description of the entire Karma-mimamsa philosophy in just 2 verses. Krishna does it in these 2 verses. Second chapter 42-43. Where he says, these people, Vedavadinaha, the word which is used in the second verse of the 11th chapter is there in the Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, 42nd verse. Ya imam pushpitam vacham pravadanta vipaschitaha vedavadara partha nandasthitivadinaha कामात्मान स्वर्गपरा जन्म कर्म फल प्रदा क्रिया विशेष भोलाम भोगेश्वरी गतिम प्रति. So who are these Vedavadarata Partha? So Srila Prabhupada talks about this. He says that they are only namesake followers of Vedas. There is a Karma-kanda section of the Vedas, and based on that there is a philosophy called Karma-mimamsa philosophy or Purva-mimamsa philosophy. They just for their only goal of life is to go and enjoy. Enjoy in this world, enjoy next world. I'll go to this one and enjoy. So they talk about happiness in multiple subtle bodies. So they accept a subtle body, they accept next life, but their prayojana is not to go back home, back to God. Their prayojana is only to attain Swarga. Then you ask them, what about mukti? They say, mukti actually means to give up misery and enjoy. Go to Swarga and enjoy. They have proved liberation is enjoyment. Yes, we talk about liberation means to give up enjoyment. They have proved liberation means enjoyment. Very. And they have proved that material enjoyment is eternal. You'll be shocked to know these people. They actually proved material enjoyment is eternal. These Mimamsakas have proved. Of course, we don't accept their proof because their proof is only coming out of ignorance. But they use a lot of logic. They say, mango season. We say it is temporary. Mango is temporary, only summer. Oh, my dear sir, mango is temporary. I accept it. But the season, summer is not temporary. Next summer, mango comes again. Next summer, mango comes again. So there is eternity continuing. You have to find out eternity in matter. Wow. These are the philosophers. Actually, Jadaba, Raja Rahugana is representing that kind of philosophy. Like Prachina Bhari, he was actually practicing that. Here, Raja Rahugana, he puts forward his argument that when the body suffers, the soul suffers. But now, Jadabharata is trying to explain to him, no, when the body suffers, the suffering of the body or the subtle body, the gross body has nothing to do with the soul. Now, he says that Tate Varajan Urugar Hamedha, Udugar Hameda, those who are very much attached to this Hameda, that is into this Hameda means the sacrifices which are supposed to be done by the householders. Pitana Vidyor Vijumbuteshu. They consider these two to be very interesting, very wonderful. Na Vedavadishu hi Tattvavadaha. Those who are Vedavadishu, they are not Tattvavadis. There is a lot of difference with those who know the Tattva and those who are Vedavadis. So the biggest opponent for us, the Vedantists, those who follow are the followers of the Vedanta philosophy. That means we are actually the followers of Vedanta philosophy. We accept Vedas, Vedanta, Vyasa's Vedanta Sutras to be absolute truth. And in the Vedanta Sutras, the Vyasa is defeated all the other 5 systems of philosophy of Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Sankhya, Yoga, and Purvamamsa, Karma-mimamsa philosophy. So our greatest opponents are not atheists. Our greatest opponents are atheists in the garb of theistic people. Who are they? They are the Karma-kandis, religious people. The problem is religion. We want people to become spiritual, but we are surrounded by religious people, and they are actually our opponents. Especially in India, religiosity is the problem. Very difficult to get religiosity out of their consciousness. Arjuna wanted to be religious, but Krishna told you, you're a fool, you're ignorant. So to understand religiosity is ignorance is the first step in spiritual life. If you want to progress in spiritual life, carrying the burden of spirituality is like a donkey. So religiosity is ignorance. Dharma projita kaitavotra varamo Bhagavatam. Very second verse of Bhagavatam says, Dharma projita kaitavaha. This Bhagavatam uproots the entire religion and throws it off. First verse of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Second verse rather. Sri Chaitanya Nityanando Saudito Gaudode Pushpavanto Chitrosando Tamonudao. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Nityananda rose in the eastern horizons of Gauda Desha. Why? Tamonudao, to destroy ignorance. What is the tamas? Silabhakshana Thakur says, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, the Chatur Purusharthas are the ignorance. So those who are into Karma-kanda, in their consciousness, it is very difficult. Tattvavada is very difficult. Discussion about Tattva is very difficult. Because Prayena Shuddho no Chakasti Sadhu. Because these discussions about Tattvavada are Shuddha, are without any violence. In the Karma-kanda philosophy, it's full of killing animals in the name of sacrifice and doing this and to show off that I can do a better sacrifice than you. Next, Shuddha. And Sadhu. Sadhu means is pure. Shuddha is without violence, and sadhu it is pure. Pure means there is no passion involved. It is goodness. It is actually transcendental goodness. It is not just goodness. So it is different, totally different. Spirituality is different from and religiosity, and Tattvada is different from Vedavada. There is enjoyment in Tattvada, but that enjoyment is totally different from the enjoyment of Vedavada. So that is what is the subject matter of the third verse. You may be thinking why I spoke about first and second verse. Until as we know the background, it's very difficult to come to this point. So to explain that the enjoyment what is experienced by the Tattvavadis is different from the enjoyment which is experienced by the Vedavadis, because you have these two words coming in the second verse, that is na Vedavadishu ki Tattvavadaha. So in the third verse, example is given, that is Swapna, dream. So we go to the third verse here. Grahanaya saksha. Somebody may say, no, is it you are so, these tattvavadis, those who are actually spiritualists, you consider these religious people tucha and you don't even bother about them, you always criticize them. No, you have to tell something truth about it. So you can also bring them to spirituality, these religious people. Why are you so harsh in your talks? Somebody may say like that. Then natasya tattva grahanaya sakshat. Na grahanaya. Very difficult. For a person who is engrossed in the inferior happiness arising from some household affairs, some religiosity. It is very difficult. Na grahanaya sakshat. It is very difficult for them to understand the Vedanta, because now the discussion is going, which is going on, is Vedanta versus the Karma-mimamsa. Karma-mimamsa versus Uttara-mimamsa. So Uttara-mimamsa means, Uttara means later part, Purva means previous part. So the previous part of Mimamsa means analysis in very simple words, simple word understanding. So there is Purva-mimamsa or Karma-mimamsa, which analyzes how to enjoy in this world and how to enjoy in Swarga. So that philosophy versus, which is written by Jaimini. Jaimini wrote that philosophy. It's got more than 2000 sutras. There's a book called Karma-mimamsa versus Vedanta. So this Vedanta is not suitable for those whose mind is completely engrossed in some kind of material happiness. Grahamedi Saukyam. And what is this Grahamedi Saukyam? Swapne Niruktya. Swapne Niruktya. So we know Swapne Niruktya means this happiness which is raising from matter is actually Swapna. Swapna means dream. So we all heard about how this happiness is like a dream. Of course, there are many philosophies which are there, Mayavad philosophies, which also talk about this material world is like a dream and all these things. But from the Vaishnav understanding, I'm going to speak about dream. So this dream, sometimes we become very happy in dream. But this happiness in dream is actually not real happiness. And the misery what we experience in the dream is not real happiness. This is what Janaka experienced. Janaka was in the Mahal, sleeping. He had a dream. So in that dream, what did he see? There's a big severe battle. And all the soldiers died. Some ran away. And some enemy soldiers are running behind him. And he's running, escaping jungle, just running here and there. And somehow he just falls down and he's so thirsty, sweating. And all of a sudden, he opens the eyes. His whole body is sweating. His whole body is sweating. Then he immediately calls his minister and tells, "Oh, I saw this dream." And the minister told, "That is all dream only." Then he sees his whole body is sweating. And he really had the experience of the misery of being defeated, running, feeling the thirst. Then Janaka asked one question. You are telling that that is a dream. But in that dream, somebody tells, this is real. Or when you are awake, that is a dream. Then from that time onwards, Ashtavakra gives him the knowledge. And of course, the story goes further. But for now, we should know that Swapne, Yurukya, Grihamedi Saukyam. For those who are engrossed into this kind of material happiness, it is very difficult. So these words of Vedanta are best understood by those people who are actually understood this world is false. This material world, material miseries and happiness has nothing to do with me. Till then, it is very difficult. So the word here used is sakshat, direct. So this direct knowledge of Vedanta cannot enter everybody's consciousness. Especially for those who are still hankering for this material happiness, Vedanta is very difficult. That is why when somebody went to Shankaracharya, and told Sripad Shankaracharya that, "Oh Sripad Shankaracharya, I want to learn Vedanta." And Sripad Shankaracharya told, "First take sannyas and come. You're sure." So as long as one is pursuing some material happiness in this world, Vedanta is not for him. Vedanta is only for those people who have minimum understood what that there is no happiness in this world. They're convinced about it. So one is trying to find some happiness in this world. It is like a pig trying to find a rasgulla from the gutter. No, just imagine the pig is going on in the gutter, and then at last, even if he finds some rasgulla, it is a rasgulla from the gutter. So even though somebody is trying to find happiness in this world, even if he finds it, it is like the rasgulla coming out of the gutter. So there may be tendencies to achieve some material happiness in this world, but one should not pursue it. If you pursue it, then Vedanta is very remote, very far. So the soul does not have any relationship with the material happiness, because the material happiness is false. How is it false? Somebody says, "No, I saw a rabbit with horns." A rabbit doesn't have any horns. It's only a phantasmagoria. But those who are in pursuit of a spiritual life, they experience superior happiness. And that happiness is Brahman. Of course, when somebody is on the platform of Brahman, till Srila Prabhupada talks about, he has to take up devotional service. Mad bhaktim lavate param. Suppose somebody understands I'm not this body and spirit soul, and he starts experiencing some spiritual happiness in the spiritual platform, but if he doesn't take up devotional service, then it is a problem. Aruhe guchchena param padam patanti. Or even if somebody is attained the 11th platform of Brahman, then because there is no activity, he may fall down. He may come back to the material life again. So that is why Srila Prabhupada, in many of the lectures, he talks again and again about the futility of endeavoring to become happy in this material world. Nayasya heyanumitam swayam syat. So, heyanumitam. One should conclude that this happiness is inferior. Then, swayam syat. Then for him, realization of absolute truth becomes easy. Understanding Vedanta is easy. Tasyaiva hetu prayateta kovidau nalabhyate brahmatya paryadaha. Even Narada criticizes Vyasa. Oh Vyasa, already people are interested in material happiness. And by writing these Vedas, the Karma-kanda section of the Vedas, you have increased their fever. Vyasa may argue, oh, no. I wrote Mahabharata to attract people because people are into material happiness. And Mahabharata talks about dharma, artha, kama, moksha. And I attracted people by writing Mahabharata. Those who are interested in material happiness come and read Mahabharata. And by reading the Mahabharata, in between they read the Bhagavad Gita and become transcendental, get in spiritual life. So it's my plot. My plot is that by attract people somehow or the other, showing some material happiness to them. And then when they read this Mahabharata, in between you get spirituality. Then they'll read spirituality and become spiritual. Then Narada, he says to Vyasa, my dear Vyasa, you think you are very intelligent? Yes, you are intelligent. It is not that you are not intelligent. You are intelligent. But I want to tell you something. I want to tell you something. That is, the ignorance of the people is more powerful than your intelligence. Jigutsitam dharma kritenu shashataha swabhava raktasya mahan vitikramaha. Yadvyakyato dharma iteratam itaratastito namanyate tasya nivaranam jana. You know, there is a story. One mother, her son was not keeping well. She had to give her medicine, but the medicine is very bitter. The son would not take it. So what she did, she brought a rasagolakam, rasagolakam. She somehow inserted this bitter medicine pill, a small medicine, inside the rasgulla. In the middle, you put it, and then beta, come here. Take this rasgulla. Then she gives the rasgulla and she sent the boy. Then evening she asked, my dear son, did you take the rasgulla? Rasakolakam kadatu? Did you take? Did you eat? Then the son says, oh my dear mother, Mata, rasagolakam ativa maduram, kintu tad bijam ativa tiktam. The rasagolaka, that whole, the rasgulla was very sweet, wonderful, but there was a bija in it. It was very bitter. So what did I do? I spat it out. This is what happened. Narada told Vyasa, you thought you were going to do a big favor to the entire world by writing this Veda, but 99% of the Vedas you filled with Karma-kanda, and people are already having the disease of mental existence to enjoy this world. And now, on the pretext of Veda, they will be enjoying. Though you increase their fever, you are given a bahana for them. No, I am Vedic. So why are you teaching me Veda to? See, I am following all the Vedic rules and regulations. Why? Who are you to tell me? So it's very difficult now. Now, these people are going to read the entire Mahabharata. When it comes to Bhagavad Gita, these verses are those for. This is all for not for us. It is for all those people, Langu, Pangu, and those people who cannot make it in this world. It is for them. So let us do karma. So they don't read the Bhagavad Gita. They don't read the Bhagavatam. So one has to study Bhagavatam, which is the Sarva Vedanta Saramiti Srimad Bhagavatam Ishyate. There is a sum and substance of the entire Vedanta. Natural commentary on Vedanta Sutra. Bhashya Ruposo, Brahma Sutra Bhashya. Bhashya Ruposo. This Brahma Sutra Bhashya, Bhagavatam. So by studying this Bhagavatam, for the pleasure of Krishna, and with the conviction that there's nothing in this world now. There's insignificant things are not going to satisfy anyone. Even though it is satisfying, you don't know how long it's going to be there. So with this understanding, when somebody goes, yes, na, yes, he yanumati, he yanumitam, heya. You know this word heya. Heya means considering things to be insignificant. And the material happiness. Grahameji Saukyam, the happiness in this world should be considered as what? Nayasya Heya Anumitam. It should be concluded that it is Heya. And for such a person, Swayam Syat, Vedanta reveals within his heart. So this is the intention of this verse. We stop here. Any questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for such an enlightening and wonderful class, Prabhuji, explaining so briefly about how body suffers and the soul suffers, and explaining the enjoyment about the Veda Vyasas and Tattva Vyadas, and how we get the direct knowledge from Vedanta. Who can experience that? Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for detailed explanation. So I request Sukasagari Mataji, you can please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danvat Pranams. Such a thought-provoking class. I just have two questions. One was you explained how Karma Mimamsa gives the example of the changing seasons, which are, in continuous. So the Karma-kanda also is continuous, and one can keep enjoying life after life. And also the other example which you gave towards the end. So how do we defy this kind of logic to people who are attracted to logic and may not understand that there is a higher, truth and a higher pleasure beyond this?
It's only possible by Mahiyasam Padarajobhishekam. It comes in this particular chapter. You'll find this thing. Mahiyasam Padarajobhishekam. Until unless one bathes himself in the dust of the lotus feet of the devotees. That is why only by coming in contact with Abhideya, somehow or other, some Krishna Prasad, some seva, knowingly or unknowingly done to Krishna. So that much amount of Sukriti, Bhakti, Unmukha Sukriti has to be built up. So then only this can happen. Otherwise, not possible. Bhakti Unmukha Sukriti has to be there. That's the way. That is why we conduct Rath Yatras, we do Nagar Sankirtan. Why? Because Rath Yatra, Jagannath, they see in the traffic, somebody is stuck, they see Jagannath. Somebody gives prasad. some collector, some police person, he gives permission for Rath Yatra. The police, they are going behind Rath Yatra, something. So in this way, we are distributing Sukruti, Bhakti Unmukha Sukruti to people. Even in the household, family also, whenever friends, other places, Prasad Sevita Hoy, Prasad, Sakala Prapancha Jai. For us, Prasadam, okay, let's have Prasadam. Oh, Prasadam is very tasty, rice dal Prasad. Oh, nice. Oh, this, oh, what wonderful Rasgulla Prasad. But the potency in it is tremendous. So, Prasadam distribution. Or somehow collecting some donation for the temple. So, that increases their piety. In this way, it will happen one day or the other.
So, Prabhu, is there any other explanation also for why, the Vedas speak of Karma-kanda for the most part, and, the Vedanta, which of course, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told us, Srimad Bhagavatam for us, the summary of Bhagavatam. So, why is it that this has been more in depth, explained in depth than the actual, the actual essence of it?
Yo nityanam chetanam eko bahunam yo vijadati kaman. Krishna has to satisfy the desires of every living entity, all kinds of conditioned souls. To satisfy the desires, he has to give a particular process. So he cannot say, Krishna is not a person who asks you to love him at the gunpoint. He says, a lot of options are there. Now, which one you want? You want me or this world? That's the reason we have so many things in the Vedas. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for beautiful answer. Yes, Mataji, you have any other thing?
No, I just wanted to thank Prabhuji, and I just the Rasagolakam example was very hilarious, but at the same time very it had a lot of lessons to it. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I request Anuradha Mataji, you can please go ahead with your question, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you, Prabhu, for the wonderful class, very thought-provoking. Prabhu, I had two questions. If I'm not quoting it wrong, I have heard Srila Prabhupada saying that the soul is Satchidananda, soul is ever blissful, but coming in contact of this material nature, it gets covered. And that's what all the miseries are also felt by it. And he gives an example of like how the rain is purified, but as soon as it falls onto the earth, it becomes a muddy water, and it does not remain suitable for drinking water. So for drink, So Prabhupada's that example is quite familiar with Raghuna's example, the pot and the kheer. So actually, when I just heard it before reading, I thought Bharat Maharaj was, Jara Bharat was saying it. So, but then how do I reconcile this two? Because Prabhupada says the soul gets contaminated by coming in contact with material nature. So I have one more question, but first I would like to ask this.
What is contaminated is not the soul, it is the consciousness. That is why we don't say contaminated soul, we say contaminated consciousness. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Cheto Darpana Marjanam. So the contamination is not for the soul, contamination is for the consciousness. The soul is Achaloyam Sanatanaha, Nitya Sarvagatastan Achaloyam Sanatanaha. And consciousness, it is all pervading the body, Sarvagataha. And the soul is pervading the entire body. So what gets contaminated is the consciousness. So though even it becomes muddy water, the water has become muddy, but the water still it is distinct from the mud. That should not be forgotten.
Okay, Prabhu. So Prabhu. So when the body leaves, the soul leaves, So we know one gross body, one subtle body, and then soul. That's all I understand from whatever little understanding I have. So the consciousness, is it a separate thing than the
You
soul?
read the Bhagavatam. If you
Yeah.
read the Bhagavatam,
Yeah.
if you have a Bhagavatam with you, please open 3rd canto, 26th chapter, 326, text number
Prabhu, 3rd canto. Sorry, I'm checking on Vedas. I do not have the Bhagavatam right now with me. 3rd canto,
26th
26th chapter.
26th chapter, where there is a description of subtle body is not 3 number, it is 4. It is Manaha, Buddhi, Ahankara, and Chitta. So it is text number 14. Mano buddhirahankaraschittam vityantaratmakam Chaturdhaha lakshate vedho Vrutya lakshana rupaya. Got it? The 4 internal senses, out of which is one thing
yes,
called
Prabhu.
Chitta. What is
Yes,
the
Prabhu.
Chitta?
It's consciousness.
Which consciousness? Contaminant consciousness. Okay.
So okay. So this is a new information. Thank you. I mean, so long it was always like, soul and
Like this.
consciousness.
Philosophy is like this. To give you a very, very gross example, when the child goes to the nursery, the child is taught the sun rises in the east. When he comes to the 6th or 7th standard, he is taught, no, the sun is in the middle, the earth goes around the sun. When he goes to university, he says everything is moving.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes. I need to read that verse again, and maybe if I have any follow-up question on that, I will come back and check with you, Prabhu, again.
Okay.
And I have another question, Prabhu. Can I go ahead?
2 minutes I got. 6 o'clock I have another class, so 2 minutes are there. Yeah.
Maybe then I would give the question to somebody else, and when you come next time, I'll ask you this question, Prabhu.
Yeah. Thank you so much,
Thank
Mataji,
you.
for
Thank you.
understanding. I request Sureshwar Prabhuji. You can please go ahead, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhu, for detail explaining this verse. Prabhu, one question. In this second chapter itself, like you said, right, Prabhu, 42 and 43 verse, right? It's saying about the Vedas, right? Like when we are reading for the first time and we say, Vedas are our Praman, and here outrightly it's saying, we are kind of rejecting, we can say, right? How do we discuss, Prabhu, when we are discussing this in the initial stages?
Yes. That is why knowledge is eternal. Vedas are pramana. So what Karma-kanda says, is it wrong or what? No, it is. It's not saying wrong, but we are saying it is not the highest thing.
Okay.
Isn't it? Number one. And let us go further now. First you should understand this and get this next point. We have an acharya called Sripad Madhvacharya. We come in his parampara, Brahma Madhva Gaudya. He gave a Rigveda Bhashya.
I think, Prabhuji, you got muted.
He is the only Vedanta Acharya. He is the only Vedanta Acharya who wrote a commentary, a Vedanta commentary on the Karma-kanda section of the Vedas, explaining the Vedanta within Karma-kanda. Okay. Just have this information, that's all, not much. So even there is a Vedantic understanding within Karma-kanda. That understanding is given by Madhvacharya on his Rigveda Bhashya. Okay. This is what is understood.
Okay, so we can't say it is wrong, but it is taking us to next stage, right, Prabhu?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when we think it is wrong, it's completely, it's not comprehensible, Prabhu.
Not,
yeah.
It is not highest. That is the point.
Yeah, high, not highest. Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
Okay, stop here. We will stop here because I got another class. Hare Krishna. Hare Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for such an enlightening class once again and giving your valuable time for question and answers also. We pay our obeisances to you. Vansha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaः. Granted Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Kamal Lochan Prabhuji ki jai. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Jai Hare Krishna.